let me start the handle part of the bag, right? So go back to your corner point 4 where we just fastened off. Now from the stitch marker, take 2 stitches on each side, right? So that makes it a total of 5 stitches, right? So measure, take 2 stitches on the right hand side, insert your hook into that stitch, make a slip knot, and chain 1 into that stitch that we started with. Now in the same stitch, make 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, make another single crochet. Now in that center stitch, I'm going to remove the stitch marker and make 1 more single crochet. And then from that point, another 2 more single crochets, right? So in total, we have 5 stitches. So right from, so your center stitch where your stitch marker is, you count 2 stitches on the right hand side and start from there. And then after the center stitch, you count 2 stitches on the left hand side and make single crochets in that stitch. Now chain 1, turn, and just continue making 5 single crochets. And then chain 1, turn again, and 5 single crochets. So continue doing this till you have, like, till you exhaust your yarn or till whatever size you want. I don't have like a specific count for the handle, but whatever count that you make on this side, so whatever count that you make for this handle, keep that count in mind, write it down somewhere, and we'll do the same amount of rows on the next handle, just so that the handles are equal. So now I have reached around 6 to 8 inches of your handle, and I don't have much yarn left, so I mean it works for both. So I have ended the handle at a odd numbered row, which means that when you start, this is your row number 1, which is facing the right side, and then row 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have done around 45 rows. So I'm ending again on the right side, right? So now what you do is you take your handle, okay, this is your right side. So the right side of the handle and the right side of the fabric facing each other, which means you're going to take the right side and face it to the right side of the fabric. So facing each other, what you will do is from the second stitch on the right to the stitch marker, from the second stitch on the right to the stitch marker, you will insert, so your live loop is there, you will insert the hook into the handle, first stitch of the handle, and the second stitch from the right to the stitch marker, and pull up a loop and make a slip stitch, right? So that's your slip stitch, and then you continue making slip stitches into each of the stitches, so which means you insert your hook through both these stitches. So one stitch through your handle, one stitch through your fabric like your bag, and pull up a loop, pull up a loop and slip stitch, right? So I'm going to remove this stitch marker, insert your hook through both those stitches, pull up a loop and slip stitch. This is the slip stitch joining method. So we're going to do that for all the 5 stitches, right? So insert your hook into this last stitch, insert your hook into the fabric and slip stitch, right? So that's your last stitch. Just chain one and fasten off, right? And now you can see, so when you turn around, just pull it and tug it a little bit so that it's tight and works well. And there you go, your handle is done. So now don't worry or don't think that your handle is very small, because you also have this curve on your bag. So in effectiveness, it becomes a larger gap for your bag. And also when you stuff your bag with goods and vegetables or whatever, when you put some weight into the bag, this handle will stretch. So it definitely stretches a lot. So if you end up making say 10 inches or 12 inches of your handle strap, it stretches really long, and it becomes a little difficult to hold it properly, or it just stretches and becomes a very long handle, which is not really advisable. So stick to around 6 to 8 inches of the handle strap. Now the same thing, what we're going to do is we're going to turn the bag, okay, and go to corner point. This is 1 and this is corner point 3. So we're going to start from the right hand side, follow the same instructions, start from the second stitch from your stitch marker, okay. Take the second ball of yarn that you have and make the same handle in 5 single crochets, right? So chain 1 and in the same stitch start a single crochet, the next stitch, then you can remove the stitch marker and make 3 more single crochets. So that's 1, 2 and 3, right? So start from here and then chain 1, turn your work, right, and continue making the handle till either you finish your ball or till you reach 6 to 8 inches, right? And then join back on the other side with the similar method. That is, you take the right side of your handle and face it towards the right side of your fabric, and then slip stitch together, so that the slip stitches are at the behind. If you see, the slip stitches are the behind or the inside of your bag, so it's not seen from the outside, right? So make the second handle and I will show you what you can do after that if you have yarn left. So now I have finished the second handle, right, and I'm going to join the same way to this point, which is you identify the right side of the handle, take the right side, match it right side to right side, match it with the corner point, right, insert your hook through the live loop and the first stitch, and then insert your hook into the second stitch from the stitch marker. Take your working yarn behind, pull through both the stitches and slip stitch, and then continue doing the same. So insert your hook in through both those stitches, both the next stitches, and slip stitch. So you can remove the stitch marker, insert through both the stitches and slip stitch. So continue that for all your stitches on the handle. And fasten off, right? So now the number of rows that you have on the handle is important to count when you're doing the first handle. so that you have the same number of rows on the second handle. So it should not be like you have 40 rows on the first handle and 50 rows on the second handle, right? So you should have the same number of rows on both the handles, right? So there you go. With the handle, the bag is complete. So now you can weave in all the ends and finish your bag. So now the thing is, your bag is done, but if you have more yarn left, if you have contrast yarn left, what you can also do is along the sides of your handle and throughout the bag, right? So when you place your bag like that, so if you start from any point anywhere, you will be able to crochet on the outer edge of the entire bag, right? So on that edge, on the outer edge, and you can on the inner edge, like through the handle and the bag. So what you can do is you can do an edging, which is either, if you have more yarn, probably go bulky users will have more yarn. So you can do a single crochet edging. So just single crochet all throughout in each and every stitch and across the edge throughout the bag. So I went with a single crochet edging, and so if you can see, I have done the entire outer periphery of the bag in single crochet, and then whatever remaining yarn I had, I split it into two, and I'm going to do a single crochet edging on the inside of both these yarns as well. So always keep your right side up and start from anywhere on that point. Like I started from this end of the bag and I completed all the way and fastened off, and so I'll start somewhere in the center here and complete the whole thing. So I'll do the single crochet edging on both these sides, and I'll show you how the final bag looks. So if you see, I have finished the edging on the outer end, on the inner end, on both sides. I have weaved in all the ends, trimmed off whatever extra, bits that were popping out, and I have finished the entire bag. So there you have it. Your Nifty Thrifty Eco bag is done, and you can flaunt this out wherever you go. Take it wherever you go. Don't use plastic bags, and send us pictures of how you're going to use the bag in different ways. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the India Yarn Circle channel, and follow us, that is India Yarn Circle, GOkraftz Yarns, and me, String Diary, on all the platforms, so that you are updated with more stuff. And tag us in all your progress pictures, on your final pictures, and let us know how you're going to use the bag. So I'll see you sometime in the future when we come up with new cals, and see you then. Bye.